If you look at the U.S. economy, we have about $1.5 trillion in our total money supply.
People are going to start worrying about all this money being printed. We've already printed through this crisis. The Federal Reserve's more than doubled the base money supply, which is called the monetary base. And we have already a basis for a doubling of the price level.
The dynamics that exist now and have existed for decades is that we export dollars and import goods, whether it's oil from the Arab nations, or consumer electronics from Japan, or furniture, or children's toys, whatever, from China, things from Germany, whatever we import, and we export dollars. And so even though we're creating inflation, we're creating money, the money is not in this country, we ship it abroad. And then what happens is the manufacturers in other countries that earn those dollars, they take them and sell them to their central banks, they create their own currency, and that causes inflation in other countries. So we end up exporting our inflation to other countries that would normally be enjoying the benefits of deflation, but they're not because of the inflation necessary to buy up dollars. But meanwhile, they're warehousing all these dollars. And so you have all of these reserves built up in other countries. China, for example, has $2.5 trillion of foreign reserves. It's not all dollars, but it's the majority dollars. Other countries, have hundreds of billions of dollars apiece in reserves. These are dollars that they've accumulated that they don't spend because we haven't made anything that they want to buy. Now, what's ultimately going to happen when the dollar loses its reserve status and the world is no longer just stockpiling dollars, they are going to rush to spend them, right? And where are dollars legal tender? Well, here in America. I mean, there are a few little countries that have dollarized, but by and large, you can only walk into a store and buy stuff with dollars in America. And so what's going to happen is it's the reverse thing. The world is going to rush to spend their dollars on whatever we have. Now, most of what they're going to buy is not going to be our products that we make, because we don't make a lot of products. Most of the things that they're going to want to buy are the products that they already sold us. They're going to want to buy them back. And so what's going to happen is you're going to see all this money come into America, and ships are going to be leaving with used cars, used television sets, used computers, used furniture. This is what the world is going to buy. And the Chinese are going to fill up their houses with goods that we used to own. And why are we going to be selling them? Because we need the money for food. Because we need the money for oil. That's how broke. It's like a giant repossession. We really could never afford those products in the first place.
The FDIC insurance is insuring our dollars, but it's not insuring our purchasing power. So this idea that we have deposit insurance is in large part a myth. We have it in some sense if a couple banks fail, but if the entire financial system fails, then the government has to print so much money that everybody wants to run on the bank to get their money out right away to buy something before prices rise, because the government had to print so much money to make good on the deposits. The FDIC has liabilities of $6 trillion. Right now it's got assets that are negative. It has no assets to cover these liabilities. If there was a run on the banks, even a slow run or a walk to the banks where people taking the money out, but then they start to trot and maybe they run to the banks, the FDIC would have to come up with $6 trillion to get the Fed to print $6 trillion. Then there'd be runs on money market accounts. That would be another $3 trillion. And you can see a lot of problems arising from this. The government would have to print lots and lots of money, and people suspecting this would want to run to get their money, and the whole financial system could collapse as a result of the fiscal problems.